What is up? Welcome to Every Single Guitars, where the goal of this channel is to review every single guitar ever made. Today I got a guitar that I haven't really reviewed much on this channel. I think looking back, I've only probably reviewed maybe 2 or 1 model of this guitar. And surprisingly, it's not because I hate the guitar or I dislike the guitar. It's just that I don't really see this guitar much on the market for a good deal. That is key. The deal has to be good before I buy a guitar. Even though I review several guitars, I don't just buy it. I make sure I do my research, I make sure the price is good, and then I buy the guitar. So today I have a 2002 Gibson SG Special electric guitar. But even though I haven't reviewed many SGs, I still think that the Gibson SG is probably one of the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable Gibson to play, especially when I'm playing sitting down. And that is the case for this guitar. You know, just the design aspect of right here, it's just very natural to your body. So when you put this guitar on your lap while you're playing, it's just a natural fit, kind of like a Fender Strat. Les Paul, in my opinion, is just, the design is really good. It's classic design, but in terms of comfort factor, I don't know what I feel about that guitar. So when it comes to Gibson SGs, I say that the most well-known SG is probably the SG Standard, kind of like the guitar that Angus Young from AC/DC uses. The Standard SG, same exact design, but it has a different style finish. The fretboard has the classic Gibson inlays, the pearl inlays. But since this is a Gibson Special, an SG Special, they changed a few of the specs, made it a little bit more different, because overall the Gibson SG Special is quote unquote the more affordable version of the Standard SG. So for example, for the body, there's no clear coat, gloss, lacquer finish. It's just a plain wood finish, which I personally really like. I actually really like this type of body design and finish. You know, sometimes for guitars with clear coat and lacquer finishes, it gives it a very smooth and glossy feel. But if you put your hands over this SG Special right here, you can actually feel the wood, the actual wood that they used. And to me, I think that's just a cool factor. It gives it a very raw and authentic feeling when you're playing this guitar. It's like, damn dude, this is actually a piece of wood. Obviously all guitar is made of wood, but this, you actually get a genuine sense that you're holding a quote unquote unfinished type of wood, which I really like actually. So other than the body finish, I'd say that the biggest difference between this Special and a Standard is probably just the inlay design. For this, Gibson just used the plain dot inlay. It's very common for most electric guitars and acoustic guitars out there. Fenders are known for the dot inlays. Some Gibsons, they also have the dot. You know, there's the ES335 dot. The Special, this one has the dot. And for me, it really doesn't matter. Since I'm primarily a Fender player, most of my guitars have the dot inlays, but I do like the Gibson style inlays as well. You know, the block inlays on the Les Paul Custom, I really like those. And also the hexagon trapezoidish style pearl inlays that Gibson has. But those are just aesthetics, you know, on how a guitar looks. It has no effect on playability or how the guitar sounds. It's just purely from an aesthetics look. So other than those differences, I mean, this is basically a standard Gibson SG. You got the 2-tone, 2 volume knobs, 3-way toggle switch, the neck, middle, and the bridge. You got the 2 humbuckers, 2 pneumatic bridge and saddle setup. You got the truss rod cover with no engraving. Sometimes for the higher model Gibsons, on the truss rod it says whatever the guitar model is. So for example, if this was a Gibson Les Paul, it'd say Gibson Les Paul on the truss rod. If it's the Standard, it says Standard. Studio, it will say Studio, etc. But this is just a plain black truss rod cover. So even though I haven't played too many SGs in my life, I have played enough to know the basics on what the guitar is like. And this fits in the category of every SG that I played. So for example, for all the SGs that I've played, all of them have been neck heavy. So there's a lot more weight on the neck and headstock area compared to the body. If I put this guitar flat on my lap, the guitar does fall down like this because there's a lot of weight on this side. I feel like that is the common theme for all the SGs. It's just the neck heaviness. So sometimes when you're playing, since there's a lot of weight dragging the guitar down, you have to kind of lift the guitar up like this with your arm. But that's not a big issue. I mean, if the neck heaviness and the fact that you have to put your arm up prevents you from playing the guitar and buying this guitar, I don't know if playing the guitar is the right instrument for you, because every guitar is different. Every guitar is built differently, has a different function and purpose. So, you know, if you're really caught up with these minor details, it makes guitar playing and guitar buying very difficult for the individual, in my opinion. Another common theme that I've seen with a lot of SGs is that the neck scale length feels a lot longer, or not a lot longer, but longer than other guitars that I've played. So for example, a Fender Strat, Gibson Les Paul, Tele, this SG just feels like a longer neck. So for example, if a standard Strat is right here, this is a little bit longer just in terms of the length. So with the addition of this cutaway right here, it makes playing on the upper register and the lower register very easy. So I can see why a lot of rock players, metal players, you know, like Black Sabbath, I can see why they gravitate more towards the SG, because it's just really comfortable to play. And not just comfortable, it's just a lot easier to play up here and down here. So it gives you a lot of versatility in, you know, tones and what kind of chords you can play, what kind of riffs you can play. You know, some guitars, it's pretty hard to play on the upper register because some of them don't have a prominent cutaway like this SG right here. But because of that, it's a very versatile guitar in my opinion. So if I had to give this guitar a rating, for the build quality, dude, I'd probably give this an 8.5. It's just very well made. The build construction, I'd say, is very high on this. Nothing about this guitar feels cheap when it comes to construction. Even though the Special is marketed as a, you know, lesser model of the Standard, I honestly don't get the sense that this is a quote-unquote budget Gibson. Neck quality, fretboard quality is very high. Body is very firm and solid. The tuners are Gibson Deluxe tuners, very high quality. It's just a solid, very well made guitar. The last owner, he played a good amount on this. You can see some wear, some buckle rash and scratches and marks, but that just shows you how durable a guitar really is. You know, from experience, a lot of people, they get too caught up with the minor dings and the scratches. Like, oh, dude, there's a scratch right here on the pickguard. And I'm just like, bro, this is a guitar. This is an instrument. It's supposed to get scratches. It's supposed to get played, you know? I don't know about you, but for me, if I see an old guitar, you know, a guitar over 10 years old without any wear, it just kind of confuses me a little bit. You know, it makes me wonder, was this guitar not good? Did they not play it? Or did this guy just buy it and not play it? Like, what's the point, you know? At the end of the day, a guitar is built to be played. And that's my philosophy on guitars. So for me, when it comes to these scratches and the marks and whatever, it's not really a big deal to me at all. The only thing that I care about is the originality and no headstock crack. That's the biggest thing. No matter how good a guitar is, no matter how rare a guitar is, if it has a headstock crack, I will not buy it. It just reduces the value too much and it's just too hard to sell. And most of the guitars I buy, I do sell. So I keep those factors in mind. Tone quality, this guitar sounds very good. Tone, I give this an 8 out of 10. Even though, like I said, this guitar is more marketed towards, you know, rock, metal, stuff like that. The SG is actually a very versatile guitar in terms of tone. You know, I played rock on this, I played blues on this, I played clean channel, punk, jazz. Everything sounds good. Clean channel sounds good. Distortion sounds good. It's just a very good guitar overall. And I could see why the SG as well as the Les Paul have been so popular even till this day, even though this guitar came out, you know, 50, 60 plus years ago. That just shows you the consistency of Gibson products. So 2002, Gibson SG Special. Overall, I'd say that this is a very nice SG guitar, and I actually really do dig this natural wood body finish. Just gives it a very rugged look. Very nice.